Hey guys, Almost Addicted here, and today I'm showing you how to build an underwater ravine house, or city, or town, whatever you want to call it. I'm joined with one of my Patreons, Jaden. So me and him, we spent about a few hours just talking away and building. We found this great ravine. It's in one of his servers, so we decided we were going to transform this. And I don't know the full names of everything that's in the 1.13, or is it 1.14? But anyway, what I did is to start off is it was quite organic. So as you can see, this is not a tutorial. It's more kind of like a building inspiration series in a way, but it's kind of a tutorial. But started using the strip logs from, I think they're 1.13 or 1.14. I'm not too sure, to be honest. So don't hate me for that one. You know what I mean? I don't know. But as you can see, I'm kind of blending it with the environment. 5, 2, 1, 2, and then 5. And I'm just kind of, every ravine's going to be different, so everyone's going to do things different. But we discovered, we were playing around, this is the conduit, is it? So this is how you build a conduit. It's like 5 by 5. It's basically a square, but it's got like the corners taken out basically, and you've got the conduit right in the middle. I'll show you how to build it. So you've got your 5. Obviously, this is more for like people that are into survival, but you could do it in creative as well. But yeah, if you want to become a Patreon and you want to make a video with me as well, the £10 tier, I'm going to actually build with or join people's worlds and maybe make a video with them, or maybe make a tutorial with them as something for my Patreons, do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, these guys are supporting me and it means a lot. So I'll spend a couple of hours out of my time, you know, to come in and build, and yeah, it was a good laugh. We had a good talk. We talked about everything. It wasn't just Minecraft. So yeah, fancy something like that, then get into the £10 tier, and I'll probably get something like that hooked up. But this is PC, so mostly PC players. I can't really do it for console because I can't really record it very well because I can't do the updates because my internet's very bad. So yeah, that's how you build a conduit. Now we decided what we were going to do. This middle piece here, we thought it'd be perfect to get a conduit right in the middle there, and then take it out and maybe decorate it with some stripped logs and stuff. Because I know you guys want me to use some of the 1.14, 1.13 blocks more often. I think it's 1.13 with the strip logs. But as you can see, I'm just kind of taking it out. So your environment's going to be totally different. But you kind of want to like clear some space, find something kind of like this. As you can see, I've got 5 across the bottom here and just taking it up the top like this, and I'm just blending it in with the environment. We tried to go for kind of like an organic look, so I did 5, 2, 1, 2, 5, 2, 1, 2 circle going all the way around like this. Put the conduit in the middle. Obviously on the 5 bits we like raised it up, and then we put some decorations with it and stuff. We did actually add an eel, an organic eel, like going all the way through it. So I thought that would be a cool idea and kind of blend it round. So as you can see, we're just building the conduit at the moment. But this is like a really small town, but hopefully you get the idea to if you expanded this. Now I think Jaden, in his own world, is actually going to carry on building this. So there might be a part 2 where I show you guys around what more is done to it. But hopefully you will get, you know, a bit of inspiration just from watching this. But yeah, strip logs, we used the prismarine, dark prismarine for some of the trim, because that colour palette seemed to work really well, and we used some birch as well. So as you can see, I'm just doing the 5 corners up like this, and we were going to fill it in so like the side of the ravine, like it's kind of like a cave in a sense underneath, and we were going to build that underneath and, you know, kind of make some glass panels coming down, so it's kind of like, it was like is it an orc? I don't know, the underwater city things. I don't know what they're called. But anyway, we're going to do something like that, but we decided to leave it quite open plan. Obviously, you can add loads of coral around. As you can see, I've got the dark prismarine blocks going around it. We added a bit of stone in there as well. And as you can see, Jaden's just putting some across the top. Now, we did put the audio in, but the audio messed up, sadly. So, yeah, I'm just kind of talking over it after. But as you can see, I've just got any grey blocks or any stone blocks of your choice. We're using the new spruce trapdoors. Oh, it's so nice to use some different kind of stuff, because I'm usually in 1.12 if everybody wants to know. There's some coral there at the side, so just to have those extra blocks, it's made such a difference. even if they haven't really got loads, really, but it's still nice. But as you can see, it just kind of curls up on the right hand side there, and we decided we were going to put a nice little staircase, like just curling round it. And I think Jaden, like, he got loads of seagrass and stuff and some coral, and he like blended it in. But yeah, so I'm bringing this up like this, like a staircase. And now, because it's organic, you can be really kind of messy with it. You don't have to feel like everything has to be structured. People have to count for you. You can kind of watch it, get a bit of inspiration, because obviously every cave, every mountain's different. Everything's different. So you've got to kind of go with the flow more with these builds. And you can afford to be a lot more sloppy and messy, because what I do is I make it quite messy first, and then I go over it after and neaten it up. Now, that's probably the best way to do organics, I feel. Just something like this, just kind of blending in the environment. And then instead of just keeping it with the plain stone, you don't want to do that. You want to blend it in with different blocks that might work, like cobblestone. I think we use some of the stone slabs as well. You could probably use gravel with it. Concrete blocks. The light grey concrete seems to go really well with all that stuff. But as you can see, we're getting the slabs. And yeah, if you get those water things underground, just bring a bucket with you, like a bucket of water. You can fill it up and then just kind of like put it in. And it'll just get rid of all those blue splodges. But as you can see, just putting little bits of coral around like you would do on a normal ravine house. But imagine the grass is the coral is the grass. We've got seagrass as well, and just kind of blending it in with the environment. It just makes it a little bit more lived in. It gives it a bit more of how do you say it? Just a nice feel to it, you know. And so yeah. As you can see with the dark prismarine top and bottom, I think it really goes well. And then you're just kind of blending it in with the environment. I left quite a lot of stone, like, just kind of there, and just blended in with the environment, because I kind of liked it. Because underwater, you would have quite a messy environment, I would say. So you can get away with a lot messier building strategies. I don't know, coming up with stuff. But yeah, hopefully you're getting something from this, right? So our next step, this big cave opening, I wanted to add some of the dark prismarine and just bring it across. Now let me know what you think to these sorts of kind of tutorials in a sense, but it's more like building inspiration, because we'll definitely do more of these. I've definitely got plans for some more mountain houses, more cliff houses. I know people are quite into the survival and the organic stuff, so I'm going to start doing a lot more of this stuff. Now as you can see, I brought this log out, the strip log, put a log on top, then I got some cobblestone, and then I got, I think it was birch fence, and then I got something like a spruce or something to go on top of it. Birch fence like that, and then I got a spruce slab, and then I brought it down. Now, what I'm doing with this is basically like a little crane. And what I wanted to do is bring this crane down, so as you can see I've got cobblestone over there. I was going to bring the crane down and make it as kind of like a drawbridge. So even underwater, I thought it'd be quite a cool concept to add to the city. So we were going to have like that main bit with the conduit, and the good thing about the conduit, you can breathe underwater. I don't know the radius, you're going to have to Google that. But as you can see, I've put two of them together. There's a 3 gap in the middle, so obviously it's going to be like a 5 wide bridge. Brought it down to the edge of the stone. I kind of wanted to join what we've got with the conduit and a bridge going across to join onto the house that I started building on the other side of the building. As you can see, I just did it in the stone first as kind of like a sample. Sometimes I just build it in one block, like a stone, see what it looks like, and then you can always add the detail after. That's how I do it. It's probably because I'm being creative a lot. If you're in survival, I'd probably stick with just doing the blocks that you were going to use, but I find it sometimes just having a whole plain background, even like when you're building a house, you just have a whole plain wall, you just fill everything in, and it's kind of like a blank canvas, so you can kind of look at it, take out windows where you feel will work. As you can see, I'm taking this out, and then I'm decided to put the birch, because the birch goes really well with the strip logs. I've got a house coming actually soon with the wooden logs, the strip logs, birch, wood, and it looks awesome. Like, I know a lot of you guys have been asking for me to do a lot more of these. I've only just come around to like updating it. I kind of wanted to wait for my shaders to be updated, and that's why I've kind of taken so long, because I don't know. I just kind of like building with the shaders. But as you can see, we've got that going through, and then I started to work on this other side building. Now, take inspiration from this big side building, and then use it to kind of make other small buildings from it, other different buildings from this. Maybe in this style, maybe in a completely different style. Maybe you just want to take the palette. Maybe you've got inspiration from the palette colors and stuff like that, and use it in your own way. As you can see, as I said, I keep it plain first, and then I've got a blank canvas, and then I start taking blocks out of it. As you can see, I'm just trying to get a doorway. With the organics, you don't have to be too tidy. I like to kind of tidy it up a little bit. Now, I was wanting a window here, but as you can see, I've filled it in so I can kind of start bricking out my windows where I want them. So I decided I'd put a little 2 window here. I thought dark prismarine for some of the shelves and stuff like that would work quite well, and it did come out quite okay. So yeah, and I think later on we do use some blue or light blue glass, because the light blue glass with this color combination seems to go really well. So if you want to try that, you can do that. So yeah, as you can see, I put this and then stairs out like that. I put one of the prismarine in there. I put one on top like this, one facing out, one facing on top, and one facing out like that. It just gives it that curled pattern. And stuff like this, where you're messing around with the stairs in different shapes, I think it works really, really well for underwater builds, because it's that sort of like Autica. Is it an Autica? It's a underwater cities. It's quite advanced and spirally and jizzy jazz. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah, what we did, he showed me this thing as well. Jaden showed me this. Is it soul sand? He put soul sand underneath the water. It's a new mechanic. I gotta say, we were building in creative, and it just kept pushing me up out of the water. So it was quite distracting. So I probably wouldn't do that if you're building like that. But it does give off some really nice particle effects. So obviously you can add those to your builds. And I think it's the magma blocks if you put those underneath the ground as well. I think that just lets off bubbles, but it doesn't raise you to the top. I don't know the full details, because I've only just, as I say, I've only just started building in this sort of style, or this upgrade of the Minecraft. I can't even speak. It's about 12 o'clock at night, so I just thought I'd do this really quickly so it's ready for tomorrow and people can watch it tomorrow. We've got something to watch, because at the moment YouTube's acting really strange. I think it's quite broken, as there have been a lot of people on Twitter. As you can see, I just did a little shelf, adding some coral, just different colours of coral. It kind of works. And we were going to do a little pipe here, like a bit of a Mario pipe. So as I say, in the stone first, 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, which really is a 4 by 4, but this has got the corners taken off. Now I decided to do a pipe like this, and then we actually decorated with prismarine and the dark prismarine as well. But obviously we're just going to do this first. Now I thought it would be a good idea to add some water out, so I get Jaden to kind of come up with water coming out of the pipe. So he decided to go with the light blue glass, and as you can see, it's just bringing it down, and it's looking awesome. Like it's kind of dripping underwater, even though, I don't know, you could probably have like maybe some white stuff coming out, like it's blasting up, like it's been bubbling out of the side, so you get some white glass like that. As you can see, we've got that pipe, and then if you want to fill it in, as I say, just get the dark prismarine, normal prismarine, and just kind of work with different patterns and stuff. It's all about kind of trials, tribulations, all that stuff. It's not about tribulations, I don't know, but it kind of works. So I'm just gonna go with the flow with that. Okay, so, yeah, whatever. But yeah, as you can see, it looks really cool. It just adds to the little part of our town or little city. I know a lot of people are going to say, it's not a city, it's not a town. Yeah, mate, but what else am I going to call it? Right, underwater cabin? I don't know. But anyway, you see what I mean? Got the dark prismarine, bringing the normal prismarines round. And as I say, it's just kind of like, it's quite messy. It's kind of structured. You can get away with it. It's organics. I mean, like, as I say, you just build it up until it looks alright. So I wanted it a little bit higher, so just kind of build it up higher, add more in. It's a bit like landscaping in a sense. But yeah, definitely want to do more of these. I want to do some more hobbit holes. I think I'm going to get Jaden back and Jaden and I think there's another guy, Josh. He's another one of my patrons. I'm probably going to do a video with him as well. He's in the 10th tier. So what I was thinking about for people who want to become patrons, would people be willing to become a patron if I started a survival world and I let you guys join in for the videos? I don't know if you wanted to do something like that. So if there's enough people that actually wanted to try that, I would probably set up a server for everyone, and whenever I do a video on it, you guys can kind of help me and we'll make videos together or something. I think that might be quite a cool idea. It's really a bit different. I haven't tried it. I think the last survival world was on PS4, so it's been a while. It's been a very long while. But as you can see, I'm just kind of finishing off these little bits, and then we go on to make an electric eel. Well, it's not an electric eel, it's just kind of an eel. You get the idea, you know what I mean? As I say, just kind of building that round and getting it all ready. Jaden's just, as you can see, is putting more seagrass down there and stuff like that. So, this little cave here, this is how I started it. Dark prismarine. This was going to be the head of the eel. Obviously it's rubbish at the moment. This is how I did it. It's really simple. Just really messy. Don't think about it too much. Just think about the way an eel would curl round. So just curl it round like this. It's okay if it's messy at the start. It's how you build on. Do you know what I mean? I wanted it going underneath the bridge and coming round near the conduit and out through a hole. And then at the back here I wanted to do like a cave that it came out of. And yeah, so it kind of worked well. But the best way to do this, as I say, is just do a big squiggly messy line and then keep adding to it. And keep looking back and seeing how it looks. It's quite difficult at first. This is my very first eel I've ever done. Obviously I would add the slabs, I would add the stairs in different patterns. Just whatever works for you, whatever you feel would work. But as you can see, I'm now going to do, I decided to do a cave here. As you can see with this bit, very messy as well. Just making the cave really messy, just trying to get an arch on an angle. It's probably harder than you might think. You just got to keep adding it. As you can see, I've got a little archway there. Just remove blocks where you feel it doesn't work, and then just kind of like dome off the cave at the back. As you can see, it's just like landscaping. If you've got experience in landscaping, you've got no problem with this at all. I think I've got a few tutorials on landscaping that might give people ideas. I'll make sure I put those down in the description. If I don't, because I do forget a lot of the time, make sure you check out on my channel. I've got loads of videos. I've got over 700 videos, man. So if you just check through all that, there'll be something. But as you can see, I'm just filling it in with the black. I think Jaden filled it in with the dark concrete after, and said it might work out a little bit better. But as you can see, it just looks like a dark cave. That's basically what you're going for. People are not going to be like intensely staring at it and going, "Oh, it looks like a dark cave." But if you look at that, you're like, "All right." As you can see, Jaden's been putting some of the half slab on the side of it, and then I start to work it all the way around. And then we can work on some kind of eel head. Now the eel head was probably the hardest bit. The tail and stuff all curling round was the easiest bit. As you can see, I'm just going up into the sky. I mean the top of the ocean, not the sky. But just blended it round with this, and then blended it into the cave. Like, just look at this pattern. Look at how I'm doing it. Just little bits where I feel might work. Sometimes it's gonna come out rubbish, but that's what it is. It's all practice. You've got to keep going for it. So I decided to fill this cave in now, which is super awesome. I can't believe how awesome it is. I've seen quite a lot of people do dragon tutorials and stuff on a huge scale, like big organic dragons, and they do it like this. They start off with like squiggly lines, and then they start working into it. So it's kind of like you start off building it like a new, but when you get more advanced, you know how to turn that newbie basic. It's like a drawing, basically. So when you do a drawing, you do a sketch, and then after it, you go over the lines and keep doing. As you can see, I did a 3x3 mouth like this, and then you can always add on later. I think I take the bottom off there, but you just kind of go with the flow of it, just making kind of a normal like dog's mouth kind of thing, like this, just kind of like something like that, nice and easy. As you can see, you just build onto it, add little bits that you think might work. So I decided to get the stairs because you can just get some more of the intense detail, more curled detail into the build just to kind of shape that mouth a little bit better. You're not going to be able to do it in full blocks probably. You're going to have to add some stairs and some slabs in different areas. It's just trial and tribulation. I had no clue what I was doing here. As you can see, I'm just blending those round, and I thought maybe that would do well for kind of like the top of the head, and then blend it round here, get some going down here. I can actually get down there. So I fill all that in, fill the top of the head in, and then what I tend to do is you've got to keep looking back, checking how it looks, and then I think at the end of this I decided to go with something like a sea lantern for the head. As you can see, Jaden's adding some half slab in there. Kind of looks like a dragon, but we're going for kind of an eel, you know. I thought, what other things could you add underwater? I guess you could add a crab. Maybe you could add something else. As you can see, it's kind of got a big fat head, so I thought maybe we'll take some off the top. That's what it's all about, just kind of having a look, and then maybe we can shave some from the bottom as well. That big strip going down there, it's not working too well, so we kind of take that off. That's what it's all about, just kind of like trial and error, practicing. That's how most people get it. They never get it first time. Very difficult to do tutorials on these sorts of builds, I found, because there is a lot of trial and error with it, and there's a lot of like removing blocks and stuff. We decided to put some sharp teeth, which I used at glass. I think later on I did use the normal white glass. That kind of worked a little bit better. And then I put some sea lanterns in. I think I'll skip it in a second, because I'm just kind of editing over this afterwards. Yeah, I've got some sea lanterns and put them in for the eyes. But this is pretty much finished. But as you can see, and as I said, it's not a full city, like, you could keep going for ages, do you know what I mean? But I kind of wanted to give people the concept or the idea. You can add half slabs, as you can see here. I kind of wanted to give people the concept, the idea of how they would go about building something like this. And you can imagine if you're adding big corals coming round, maybe some greens, like some red corals and stuff like that, and different like organic shapes going around in this build, it would really start to transform and look really, really busy. And when people come down into your underwater ravine house, they're going to say, pretty awesome. So hopefully you got a bit of inspiration from this. At the very least, make sure you slap a like on the video. It really does help me out. And if you've just come across the channel, or if you've subscribed already, make sure you hit that bell button, because otherwise there is no point in subscribing anymore, because the way YouTube is, you will just never get a video. It's sad. It's a sad reality. So make sure you hit that bell button. You will get notifications, and at the end of the day, if you don't want to watch the video, you don't want to watch the video, that's fine, but at least you've got a notification, because there might be something you like. So anyway, I'm almost addicted. Catch you in the next video. My Patreon is down below if you do want to join me for a game. I shall catch you in the next video. Make sure you comment down below what you want to see next, and I shall try.